styles. What you're looking at right now is a PowerPoint presentation. Now, I haven't gotten fancy with the graphics and with the text. Certainly, there's a lot more that PowerPoint can do. But this is a basic presentation. You see how the text comes up on the screen, and you press the arrow key or space bar on your keyboard, and it goes to the next topic. Like, I'll go ahead and that's a perfect segue into the next topic, which is communication is the key. Whenever dealing with a client, and that is whether you do it on one of the sites that we're going to talk about on the next slide, or you're doing an email or whatever, you have to understand that you're kind of unknown to them if they haven't worked with you before. And of course, whenever people do business on the internet, a lot of things are unknown, and there's kind of a trust issue there. Plus, people like answers right away. They're dealing with somebody online. So, if you're in California and they're in New York, they want to be able to ask you a question and get a response, like not 3 days later. One thing that you can do, and we'll discuss this when we actually take a look at how we go about doing this. I'm going to show you kind of a live example. One thing that you need to do is make yourself available. That means instant messenger. That means email. That means reply quickly. Communication is the key. So these are the 4 things that we're going to talk about in this module, and we're going to go kind of into a little bit more detail. To start off with, let's go ahead and look at finding clients. You're going to use sites like elance.com, rentacoder.com, and guru.com. That doesn't mean these are the only ones. There's tons of these kind of sites out there. Do a search on Google for freelance, and you will find a slew of stuff. These are the 3 that I typically stick with, the 3 that I use. My favorite is probably Elance. I like their interface. I like how easy they make things. The Guru.com, they're a lot more complicated to actually run, in my opinion, so they're not quite as user-friendly. Rentacoder, again, they're not really real. They're not that complex, but they're not as streamlined as Elance. Elance really has a good interface from the buyer's perspective and from the provider's perspective. We're going to actually, in just a few minutes, we're going to go to these sites and I'm going to show you how they work. But keep in mind, the goal here, some people build a business on Elance, for example, and they just do a ton of work there. I don't really spend a lot of time there anymore. Rentacoder and Guru. Okay, Rentacoder is free completely. I don't even think they have a paid subscription. All of these sites get their money from, whenever you do work, they get a percentage. Rentacoder doesn't charge anything on top of that. Guru has a free account that you can get. They've also got a paid account that lets you do a lot more. Elance is, I believe they have a free account too. That gives you a limited amount of communication that you can do. Like, for example, maybe you can only bid on 2 jobs a month or something like that. They have a paid account. It's $9.95. That's the one that I use. It gives me plenty of, they call them connects on Elance, where you can go there. You have a certain amount of connects per month, and every time you bid on a job, that takes away from your connects. And the value of the job that you're bidding on, that's what determines how many connects you use up. I don't have the rundown for you. It's on their site. But so, for example, if the job is less than $500, it's going to be like 1 connect. If it's 500 to 1,000, it might be 2 connects. So each one of these provide the interface between somebody who is looking for a job to be done and somebody who is able to do that job. And then again, they will either charge you for a monthly membership maybe, or they just, they charge you for the monthly membership and they take a percentage, or like Rentacoder, they just take a percentage. And this is kind of another one of those things you have to take into account when you figure out how much you're going to charge, is that they're going to ding you for a percentage. So you've kind of got to work that in there. And that is another reason why eventually you want to move people off of those sites. So don't just hang out there forever. I usually, like I said before, if I've got a slow day or a slow week or something, and I don't have anything scheduled, which hasn't been